Oh, what's good, everybody? Welcome back. I know it's been a little while since you've seen a PSA return. Psych, I had one last week, but I've got a bunch of them coming in, and today I thought we'd go over the return. This one is definitely much more anticipated by a lot of people because there's a lot more Charizards in them. And then we're going to look at some other cards I'm going to be submitting soon, just because I'd like to get the collection together as much as possible, right? I've been dilly-dallying with the submissions because a lot of things have been going on in the grading world. Prices have been increasing. You know, the company's been backed up with orders and service levels being removed. All kinds of things happening, but, you know, still want to get as much in as I can prior to anything else happening, all right? PSA even experienced a lot, like a shipping lockdown. And I don't want that to happen again in terms of accepting orders, at least, because you never know. All right. So without further ado, let's just roll straight into the PSA return. All right. So I've got a decent mixture of cards being returned today. Like I said, a bunch of them are Charizards. Some of them you saw us actually pull here on this channel. Some of them I did end up picking up individually. And then some of them were actually like even given to me from a friend. Okay, we've got modern cards, we've got older cards, and we've got like some mid-era cards. All right, so it's definitely a wide variety of returns today. What should we start with first? Actually, you know what, let's start with the modern. All right, so I do not know the order of the modern cards here, but we're gonna just hit this really quick. Okay, so all the cards that you see, guys, we actually pulled in terms of modern, we pulled together. Like this was pulled, was it during our Christmas special where we pulled the, where we had the tag team box? I think it was. No, this was from Unified Minds. Oh, this was from the mystery scam boxes, the one random pack of Unified Minds, and we hit this. It was nuts. All right, so I submitted this thinking that this would be a minimal 9, hopefully 10, but I was like, you know, pretty like sure it was gonna be a 9 just because you see the centering, you see how fat that border is on the right. The back had no issues really. The back was really good. If you look at it, it was really good, just a little bit thicker on the top than to the bottom, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a 9. All right, let's roll it. Yep, that is a 9. So 1-0 Kiwi in terms of Kiwi versus PSA. So Mewtwo and Mu Gx, beautiful card. All right, my brother is personally a Mew lover, so I might hand him this slab. Don't know, but I was accurate in that assumption, so I'm pretty happy with that. We also had this bad boy, which is the Mewtwo Gx from Shining Legends. I think this card got a 10, honestly. I couldn't, like, the ratio for the centering was pretty good in the front, if you guys look. You know, trying to get it as close as possible. I can't put too much lighting, because the problem is too much lighting and the glare kind of hits it in a weird way where you can't see. So, you know, the front centering was really good. Look at the back. You know, the back is really good as well, you know. So I couldn't see a reason why this card wouldn't be a 10. And I really thought this would be a 10. So let's go. What? A 9? A 9. Why, dude? I can't see. What does PSA see sometimes? You know, I didn't see any impressions in the texture, you know, on the actual card. And the centering seemed pretty flawless. There was no like white spots or anything on there. So that's 1-1. PSA takes that one, I think the last modern card should be the Scissor Full Art Rainbow Rare from Darkness Ablaze. You know, Scyther, Scissor being one. Yep. So Scyther and Scissor being one of my favorite, or a pair of my favorite mons. I started to get a bunch of them graded. So I was definitely thinking this would be a 10. You know, you see that, I mean, just based on like my previous grades with the full art, like secret rares, rainbow rares, etc. I've been able to deduce 10s pretty consistently in terms of this like class of a card. So I was pretty confident this would be a 10. The borders, although the right side border was a little bit wider, it did seem to be within the ratio. Okay, so if you guys look at the back of the card as well, the back of the card, the top is a little bit bigger, but it's not significantly bigger. Okay, and the sides look pretty dead even. Okay, so this card, I am like, if this doesn't get a 10, I'm losing it, I guess, in terms of my grading like estimations. You know, So, oh, and there it is, our first Gem Mint 10 of the video, guys. Sick. All right, I'm happy it was this card too. I definitely don't mind this card being a 10 over the Mewtwo's, obviously, because Caesar's one of my favorites. Mewtwo's meh. All right, so now I think we're gonna roll into some wotcs. I separated them face down in terms of like older cards, and then the Charizard's obviously completely further away. So what we're expecting is a Scyther EX. I think Ruby Sapphire. Scyther EX, and two Dark Dragonites first edition. One of them you guys saw pulled live on Randolph streams. So Randolph Pokemon, if you guys look at his first edition Team Rocket box break, you'll see my pack actually be one of the bigger hits in the box, the first edition Dark Dragonite with a beautiful swirl. And then I also had my own Dark Dragonite first edition that I had been sitting on for a while, and I just didn't get graded, and finally got around to doing so. Okay, so the first thing is the scissor. All right, so you guys see, I know you guys see that swirl. Look at that. Oh, that's scissors. That's Scyther. All right. Yep. So EX Ruby and Sapphire, Scyther EX. EX cards have a special place in my heart. The foil patterns were just so vibrant for these cards, like the EX cards. They just look so amazing. You know, like look at the sheen. You know. All right. So this card. Whew, this card, the left side border was a little bit wider. The back had some white spots on all the corners. That's really hard to see. Like you can see that one. You can see that a little bit. The bottom right was the only corner without, or edge without any whitening. That one has, there's some there too. The surface did have light like scratches. Sorry, I moved it up a little too high for the camera. I was just trying to get a better angle on it. So I estimated an 8.5. PSA has 8.5s, no 9.5s. So I estimated an 8.5 on this. Right now we are 2-1 to PSA. Kiwi up, all right? So let's see if we can make it 3. It's an 8. Okay, not bad. You know, I was close. Kind of curious as why it got an 8 though. You know, the thing is with EXs, on the actual silver part of the foil, you can see the light scratches pretty bad. Like it's like, are they even considered light scratches at that point? I don't know, but it's pretty rough. So maybe that's what it was. I did notice a couple, but it wasn't like substantial to the point where I thought it would drop it that much. But it was still, nevertheless, it's still a pretty clean card. Excuse me, guys. All right, so these two are definitely going to be our Dark Dragonites. All right. So if I remember correctly, the one that I got from Randolph, this one has a swirl behind his head. Yeah, you guys could kind of see it. It's kind of hard. But the one I got from Randolph has a full swirl over here. So this is not that one. I'm trying to think which one this is. This is the one that I think got an 8 because it had like a white spot there. It's really hard to see, you guys. White spot there. A white spot in the bottom left, and I think it had some light surface scratches on the foil itself, or maybe a vertical print line. I'm trying to see if I can see it now. Again, it's pretty hard because the card is actually pretty clean, man. All right, so I thought this would get an 8.5 as well. 8! Holy moly, what's going on here? PSA is much harsher with wotc cards, guys, so you know what, it's kind of, you know, expected a little bit. I should have aimed a little lower maybe on this one, but you know, it's still a high grade for a card this old. All right, so I'll take it. All right, the other one I definitely knew was gonna be higher. So what is it now? We got Caesar right, and we got the Mewtwo Mu right. So it is 2 Kiwi, 3 PSA. All right, so this Dragonite should definitely be higher. I'm gonna try to, you guys see that swirl right here? Very hard because if I get too much light, you won't be able to see. But this Dark Dragonite is definitely better, and I expected, I think, a 9 for this, and I'm trying to remember why. Oh yeah, it had a pretty, not, I wouldn't say prominent, but it had a white speck right here, which was kind of like, it was obvious enough. So I thought it would definitely lower it to 9. Otherwise, this card was absolutely flawless. There was no print lines in the hollow foil. There's no light scratches. Obviously, it was packed. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. It was packed fresh. So there was nothing to cause this card to be lower than a 9. Yeah, 9. Sweet, sweet. All right, so we bring it back up. 9-9. We are tied with PSA, everybody. All right, so now we are gonna make our way into the Charizards. Bum, ba-dum. All right, I've got a stack of Charizards here, guys. All right, and I got a couple more to grade. I won't say the collection is complete, but it is something that I want to get done so that I could just like look at my entire Charizard collection graded for what it's worth, just like gasp and awe at it, you know. So the first one is gonna be, oh yo, this one is one of my favorite artworks, and in this card in particular, the level X from Supreme Victors, my Charizard has a swirl in the flame. It's pretty crazy actually. Let me see if I can get the light a little better. All right, so, oh, did you guys see that? Look right there, there is that beautiful swirl in the flame, guys. All right, it's so awesome. This card is definitely a beauty. Like I said, the holofoil pattern for this era of cards is just, it's amazing. All right, it's definitely one of my favorites. All right, so the front was pretty good. The back though did have our normal white spots here. One, you know, 2 on the bottom left, very slight bottom right, and very slight top right. Well, that was a little bit more prominent because of the angle. So I definitely thought this would be an 8. Okay, it's an 8. The front didn't really have any issues, to be honest, guys. You know, and it's really sick to see the foil. And you know what's one of the sicker things? The golden like placement, what's it called, like placement description in terms of TCG, like where it tells you where put this card onto your active Charizard, right, level X, blah blah blah. The foil pattern there under the gold is pretty sick. All right, so that's 4-3 Kiwi up. All right, so we got Platinum Arceus. What did I say this card would be? Some of these cards I actually didn't put in our existing grade assumption, like guess that grade video. This one I thought would be at least an 8.5 because it has a pretty crazy print line across the holofoil here. I'm trying to show it to you guys. It's so hard with these cameras sometimes. But other than that, the card was relatively clean. The back did have the corner whitening 1, 2, so I thought at least an 8.5 or a 9. Oh, it got a 9, bro. 5-3 Kiwi up. That's kind of crazy. It did that because the print lines were pretty prominent. Huh? Maybe they didn't see it in that one. That's nevertheless, we good. We take those. Oh, so we pulled this during our, not really a big Charizard card, but nevertheless it is a Charizard. We pulled this during our Vivid Voltage box break or case break. It was one of our first streams ever on this channel, so it holds a pretty like big memory in my mind. It has a pretty nostalgic piece of memory for me. This card, what did I say? This card I think was gonna get a 10. I definitely thought this card was gonna get a 10. Case fresh, no scratches on the reverse foil, no whitening, no lifted, nothing like that. Should be a 10, and bam, that is a beautiful gem mint 10. 6-3 Kiwi. All right, we take those. It looks like this is starting to heat up, actually, guys. Oh, guys, the Charizard from Dragon's Majesty that we pulled on a Pack-A-Day episode, actually, where I lost my mind, and I like this one just because he's holding the flame in his hand. It's pretty sick. All right, what did I say this would get? I think I said this was gonna get a 10 too, actually. If you look at it, the borders are relatively like spot on. No issues in the foil. There's obviously no print lines. I don't think they really had print line issues with this era of holos or this set. The back centering was slightly off. The top is a little thicker, but I was hoping it was within the margin, but you know, the margin for the back is much smaller, so I don't know, 10 or 9 on this, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think? 10 or 9? I'm gonna push it. 10. It's a 9. It's a 9. 6-4 Kiwi still up. All right, not bad. Still a good card to have encapsulated. All right, guys, can't get mad over everyone. All right, so we got the Sun and Moon team up Cracked Ice. I got 2 of these bad boys. I definitely think one is going to be a 9 and definitely think one is going to be an 8, but I can't remember which was which and why. So I'm basically like reevaluating it. I think I'm holding the this one. Let's see again. This one's actually not so bad, so I'm going to say this one is the 9, but regardless, I think I have a 9 and an 8. So not a big deal. Yep, that is the 9. Not bad. 7-4. Okay, so this one I think is going to be the 8. It's worse off. The centering is a little off on the front, and I think I had seen a black mark on the card somewhere before when I submitted it. I can't remember where. It's so far back, guys. I had seen a speck on the bottom right. It's so hard to see, guys. On the bottom right, a white speck, as well as some like whitening on the corners. So I thought this card was going to be an 8 at least, and it hit an 8. All right, 8-4, 8-4. Now, oh, here we go. This was a card I picked up from somebody who was just trying to sell to buy some more. And I wasn't going to pick it up just because I wanted to pull this card really bad. And I was getting frustrated because I had opened up so much like Unbroken Bonds and I was not getting this card. I ended up picking up one that I thought was pretty solid. You know, the borders were pretty consistent. When I looked at the back though, I think I did see, after I got it, I did see a white speck somewhere. Oh, I don't see it right now, but nevertheless, this is a clean card. I'm gonna say, oh, you know what it was? I saw a very, very slight mark. I don't know if you guys can see that in the texture. Technically, that's a dent. That might be a 6. I'm scared, but I'm gonna say 9 because I know it's not gonna get a 10. It just won't. Not with that. You know, honestly, with that dent, that could have been a 6, guys. Huh. That's kind of scary, actually. I didn't really see it that prominently before. Was that even there like that? It was dead. I don't know, but all right, we'll take it. And then the last one is probably my favorite, obviously. Oh baby, the Gold Star Charizard from EX Dragon Frontiers. One of the rarer Charizards for sure. Quite the vintage piece. All right, from 2006. It's about to be pushing what, 20 years and 4.5 years. So this card had a lot more whitening around the edges. All right, you can see that whole corner right there, whitened. And the front itself had 2 massive like vertical print lines. All right, so I thought the peak grade for this, the peak, like literal, like best possible outcome, would be a 7 if I was lucky. And I thought the absolute lowest would be a 5. And you know, like when I get a wotc era card, I tend to approach it like in terms of a range of grading so that I know not to overspend, etc. Because you could take a really big hit based on what PSA chooses to give a card in terms of grade, right? So like I said, 5 to 7, hoping for at least a 6 though, obviously. Bam, and it is a 6. 9-4 Kiwi prevails. We take those. All right, so for the Charizards and stuff, I'm definitely happy with those grades, guys. You can definitely see that a lot of these cards obviously aren't perfect, but they hold significant value to me, again, because of sometimes just the cards that we pulled together in the channel, you know. And being a Charizard collector is definitely something I want to get graded. All right, so the next 4 things I'm going to show you guys really quickly before we call it a day are Charizards that I did as well pull here or receive via a person from the channel, either trade or cash buy. But this was the XY Evolutions Charizard pulled from a pack-a-day where I completely lost my mind. And this card had no flaw besides it being off-centered. Absolutely none. No print lines or anything, you know. And I think besides the centering, this card is a solid 9. So I hope it gets a 9. The centering, they might deduct 1. Who knows? Maybe even 2. But I definitely think it should be at least a 9. Okay. Now, why do I say this and why do I put this card in this video if I already have one? Well, the other one I have is an 8.5. So it being an 8.5, I'm going to shoot my shot to get a 9, obviously. I want to get as better graded in that card as I can. All right. The next one is also an XY Evolutions Charizard, okay? Now, the difference is this one is near perfect in terms of centering. Like, the centering is spot on and there's really no whitening on this card in any location at all. So what I think I have here is a potential 10. Now, when I saw it online, and what I ended up doing, actually, I had actually traded someone 2 Shining Fates tins at the time when they were valued around like 60 bucks. 2 of them for this, which was about market value, which is like 120 bucks for an XY Evolutions Raw Charizard, the holographic one, which you see here. And when it came in the mail, I saw that it had a massive horizontal print line. I'm trying to get it for you guys. Come on, come on. Where did you go? 1 second, guys. Try to... Come on, where'd you go? Okay. So there's one right here. It's so hard to see, guys. I'm sorry, but if you look, you can see like a little bit of a shift. It goes right across here. Huh. It's really hard to see, guys. I'm sorry. Hopefully PSA has a hard time seeing it as much as I am. This way you can get a 10. All right, but yeah. So that card is absolutely flawless other than the print lines. Now here is the big boy that we pulled together on Shining Fates release. Here we go, baby. The Charizard VMAX, the Shiny Charizard VMAX from Shining Fates. I believe this card is a solid 10. It had no flaws that I saw. Centering is pretty close. Okay, now look at how beautiful this card is. Look at the back, no whitening. Look at the centering, pretty good. All right, I definitely think this is going to be a 10. So I definitely want to submit this because these 10s are still pretty high up there in value. All right, it does suck though that PSA raised their prices for grading. But nevertheless, I'm an all PSA guy all the way. And I'm not going to get started on that. We'll talk about that another day because we've got to look at this. Now, here is something that's going to cost me a small fortune to actually grade. I will get around to it. My base set first edition Fire Boy. Woo. I'm already feeling hot. So the card itself on the front, it's pretty clean. It does have this one like scratch in the top right, and it's like a speck scratch, like a deep speck. The border, the top is much thicker than the bottom, so the centering is off. And the right side is a little thicker than the left. The card itself doesn't have too much scratches. There is some in the fire spin description. Okay. And then the back has its obvious wear and tear whitening, and then again, the centering that you see off. Now, like I said, with wotc era cards, I tend to look at them in a spectrum grade. I'm saying minimal 3, peak 5 on this. I'd be super hyped for a 5. When I say super hyped, I'd probably jump up and down if I got a 5. But I'm optimistic for a 4, and PSA, if they really do hate me, will send it back a 3. What can I tell you guys? All right. So those are our 3, or I say 3 because the one off-centered is like, I'm not expecting too much. I told Alicia when I graded, I'm just going to give it to her. Whichever one's the better grade, I'm just going to end up giving to her just because I feel like she should start her own Charizard collection. She's got her own Pikachu collection going, so why not start her own Charizard, huh? So these are the 3 major here, and then the one backup. You guys saw a bunch of my returns. The collection is growing at an incredible rate, guys, and it's all possible because I'm meeting awesome people through the channel. I'm meeting awesome people in the groups, trading and talking with everybody. And, you know, it's just awesome to spend this time like this, all right? So I do appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to check it out. We're definitely going to get to talking about PSA, CGC, and Beckett, though. A lot is happening in the world, and I know I'm late on it, but I just had a lot going on in terms of cards being graded and also moving cards in and out. I wasn't paying attention too much to it because I had about like 30 cards sitting at PSA as is. I wasn't really paying attention to trying to submit more at the time. But now that I got more back, I'm going to be looking to submit some more, and then maybe we can get another return video next month. All right. So if you guys want to see more PSA returns, PSA submissions, and guess that grades, drop a thumbs up for me, destroy the like button, subscribe to the channel down below. It's an awesome way to support, and it's free, guys. Why aren't you ready? I think like 30% of you guys are watching my videos and you aren't subscribing. What are you waiting for? All right, we do giveaways every week. We do streams every Saturday with more winners. You meet a bunch of cool people all joining up in the crew, you know what I'm saying? And we just have a good time, all right? So I hope to see you guys in the Saturday streams. Make sure you guys tune in the mornings for our short videos. It's just a minute, and if we pull a holo, it just might brighten up your day, all right? So until tomorrow's pack a day, Kiwi out.